Hello, this is Nigel here. Welcome to the Babymetal Retrospective special that I said I was going to do. So, what I'm going to do in this video is basically go over my 15 years of Babymetal, how I've done what have been my experience with Babymetal, and what I've known of Babymetal, how I got introduced, how basically just a retrospective of how I got introduced to Babymetal. So that said, let's get started. Also, I'd like to make a quick shout out. Shout out to U Metal, and I wish her farewell and good wishes to her path of um, well being. Because as of today, she did depart from the industry. So this video goes out to you. I wish you support in your endeavors and future endeavors and what lies in store for you out of the entertainment industry. So wish you all good wishes. But with that said, let's do a video. Babymetal, which well, my stuff from Babymetal I think goes all the way back to Doki Doki Morning. I don't remember how I listened to Doki Doki Morning back in 2011. I honestly don't remember how, but I did. I heard the song on the radio. I am not joking. I heard the song on the radio. It was either in the car or I don't know, somewhere on the radio, either that or was heard it somewhere on YouTube. When it first aired, I was actually probably heck, I might have been there for the premiere if they had premieres. I didn't just upload videos back then. But I was probably there when it first uploaded. So I actually was there since the beginning. I actually saw it when it first came out. When Doki Doki Morning came out, I was there. I've been supporting them since then, and I said, "Yeah, this sounds pretty good." And I think I'm not sure if my sisters introduced me to. I think it was like one of my youngest sisters introduced me to it, or I just found it on my own, searching up Japanese music back then. I think I just found it on my own while searching up Japanese music, and I got into it. It's like, this is actually pretty good. So I added a couple songs. Then in 2014, when the new album came out, I added Babymetal, the first album, to my MP3, and I listened to all the songs. Well, to one of my old MP3s. Listened to all the tracks, loved them, and I just wanted more. I wanted more. And I believe like 2 years later, we got Karate. Well, a year later, I think we got Karate and Megitsune. I think I have listened to those songs again, the music videos again in high school. When I was in high school or middle school, in between those phases of eighth grade and freshman year of high school. It was in between that phase when I heard Karate and Megitsune. I saw both the premieres, and I really, really did this band. I was really, really into it. And then Karate just blew my mind. Like, yeah, I love this band. And then I heard the announcement that they were making a second album coming out in, I believe, 2016 is when the album came out, or 2015. I think 2016 is when that album came out. You could probably say if I'm wrong. It was either 2016 or 2017. I don't remember when. I think it was either 2016 or 2017 is when that album came out. I believe it was 2016 or 2017. It was in between those years. One of those years is when that new album came out. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not good when it comes to years for albums. I know So I re-listened to Babymetal self-titled album before listening to Metal Resistance. Yeah, Metal Resistance before I listened to that album, and I was impressed this time. And Metal Resistance, I was really into. Even though there were some tracks I wasn't a fan of on Metal Resistance, I still liked it. I still liked it, and it was still good. Even though I do think that the first album did have like, a couple songs on it that didn't really mesh well. Well, that's not true. But I'm pretty sure all the songs on that album are pretty good. Actually, both the albums have pretty good songs. There's only like a handful of songs on both albums that don't really mesh well. But most of the songs on both albums, are pretty good. And then we get to the, and then we got nothing, and then we heard, and then in 2017 happened. The departure of the whole fiasco of Yui Metal getting sick. I thought she was just getting sick. I didn't think she was gonna depart with the band. We all thought that she wasn't gonna depart the band. We thought that she was gonna get well and that she was eventually gonna come back to perform on stage. And then 2018, then October 2018 happened, and she departed from the band. It hurt us all. We were all devastated by the news. We were all devastated. I was devastated. Many of us were devastated by the news, and even today, we are devastated that she left the industry. But we were all devastated. Yeah, moving on. And then we were all wondering what's the next step for Babymetal, what's gonna happen with Babymetal, and what's gonna be the next step for Babymetal because now there's only two members now, that being More Metal and Sue Metal, and they proved us wrong in the next album because I think they had like two backups and another girl that I don't know the name of, and a girl Momoko, who will eventually become Momo Metal in the other one, who would eventually become Momo Metal, but she was just called Momoko for that album, and she did perform Papaya. So actually, I think you Metal did manage to partially perform Papaya, partially, and Momoko did some of the backup for that. She Metal and Momoko switch back and forth between Papaya and I believe Starlight and a couple songs on that album. Yuno was still partially there for that album, but she was partially not there. It's kind of weird. You can tell which one's Momo and which one's you on that album. It's kind of weird with that album. That album just happened, and for some reason it works, and it's probably the best album up to that point. That album was so good. Like you had Starlight, Distortion, BMC, Papaya, Just Cinema Handful. Like those songs were good. I loved all the songs on the album except for Shanti Shanti. I didn't really like that one. But I love all the songs on that album. They're really, really good. I highly recommend Metal Galaxy album. It is probably one of the best albums that they come up with. It's one of the best. I love it. The best in the original trilogy of Bay Metal. It was such a good album. And then we got an announcement that said that they're gonna release another album in 2020, 1 year later, after they just released that they've already been working on an album in 2020. And that was immediately ruined by COVID. Yeah. The plans were halted. They were working on an album. They planned to release it in 2020. It was immediately ruined by COVID. And that didn't go out so well. Yeah. But at least they got to get one song in there. That being King Slayer, which is the best collab they ever done. One of the best collabs. It's that and Papaya, but one of the best collabs that they've ever done. They Bring Me Horizon. They decided to do a collab with Bring Me Horizon, and it's one of the best songs. I love that song. King Slayer is awesome. Peak. It's a perfect celebration of Babymetal's 10th anniversary. I love it. I love that song. It's awesome. That's, in my opinion, that's the perfect 10th anniversary song. I love that song. It's awesome. It's peak. It was the only song they were able to get out in 2020, and I love it. And I was actually there for the premiere. I'm not kidding. I was actually there for the premiere. This was before I started doing reactions. Before I started doing reactions, before I started doing YouTube. I was doing YouTube, but I didn't have StreamYard. I didn't have like the stuff, the equipment to do reactions. I didn't have that kind of equipment. I was just starting. I didn't even know what StreamYard was. I don't even think StreamYard was a thing in 2020. I don't think it existed. If it did, it did. But StreamYard, I didn't know what it was in 2020. I had my camera and my phone. That's all I had in 2020. 2019 to 2020, I had nothing. It wasn't until 2021 is when I started using StreamYard. I had nothing in 2019, 2020. So I couldn't react to Kingslayer, sadly, and I really wanted to react to it. I said he couldn't because I didn't have the equipment to react to it, sadly. If I only knew that screen recorder was a thing, I could have reacted to it. If I only knew. If I only knew. Yeah. Kingslayer was awesome. And then we also got the 10th anniversary tour, which happened through late 2020 to 2021. It was only like 2 months long. It only lasted for like, but they managed to squeeze in a bunch of concerts only in Japan. I managed to get the ticket to that, but I didn't want to go because it didn't feel the same to me. I wanted to go there in person, and just seeing it virtually didn't feel quite right. And I did manage to get my seat, and I did pop up during the concert. I was actually there in like the virtual concert thing that they had in America. I actually bought my ticket for that, for a virtual concert, and I was there. It didn't last very long. It was only 40 minutes, unlike their like 2 hour shows that they usually do. It was only 40 minutes, didn't last very long. I did actually go to that virtual concert. I totally forgot that I actually went to that virtual concert. It was only 40 minutes, didn't last very long. We were all talking. It was chaotic. The stream crashed many times. The freaking server crashed many times. The virtual concert crashed many times, and we didn't get to hear most of these songs. We did get to hear like the last 20. We didn't get to hear like half of it. We heard the other half. So yeah, mostly it's because everybody had their freaking mic on. Yeah, but yeah, that was fun. That was pretty fun. Yeah, that was totally fun. I don't know why they decided to do a virtual concert. They should have just kept it in Japan. Anyway, And then we heard nothing from them for like pretty much a whole year after the concert ended in January or February 2nd. We heard nothing from them for like a whole year. We thought they were like done. We thought they retired. We thought nothing happened. I thought that nothing happened. We heard nothing from them. Nothing. All we got was all we got like was vague. The only thing that we actually got was a vague message saying the other beyond and the end, and we didn't know what that means, and we all panicked because we all thought that they were gonna retire, which was crazy, but we were proven wrong in 2022, and I will always remember that video, my very first reaction, Divine Attack, and oh my god, my mind was blown. The other one, we heard that they were doing the other one album. I knew they were doing the other one album a year ahead of time, and I waited for that song to come out. I knew it was gonna come out before the album release, so I waited on YouTube. I checked the Babymetal channel. I checked it for months just to see when this video will pop out, and then all of a sudden, boom, popped up, and yeah, I was mind blown. And then they released it. I didn't expect them to release a couple more songs. I thought they were only going to release one. I thought Divine Attack was it. I did not expect them to release any more because it's what they usually did. They never release any of the songs. They usually just only release one, maybe two, maybe three. But they but they cranked out like half the album. I believe like a couple months later we got I mean like a month later we got Monochrome. We got Monochrome and then we got Metal Kingdom in January, and then we got what was the other song? Mirror Mirror. We got 4 songs in a matter of months, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was just awesome. Yeah, we got Monochrome, Divine Attack, and Mirror Mirror and Metal Kingdom. We got 4 songs in a matter of months, and then I believe later after the album they decided to release like a music video of Maya. But then the other one release. I was excited for that. That was my most anticipated album of the year, and I was hyped. I've added to all the songs on the album. It was peak. It was awesome. And it's still one of my favorite metal albums to this day. I own the album. It's awesome. I love it. Still one of my favorites. And I don't like that they are just dismissing this album. Babymetal, this album's awesome. I wonder if you guys just consider this one your fifth album because who knows? Maybe you were working on Metal Fourth before the other one, and the other one just happened to came out before Metal Fourth. So maybe the other one is your fifth album, and Metal Fourth is your fourth album. I don't know. I don't know the details on that, but I love the other one, and I guess it's your fifth album, and it's awesome, which kind of makes it confusing because the other one is after Metaphorth, and Metaphorth is the fourth album. Yeah, I know. Or maybe it's just a spin-off album, and it just has a bunch of songs, bunch of new songs on it that can also work. I don't know what you guys are thinking with the other one, but and then we all thought they were done. Again, we all thought they were done. And then out of nowhere in August, I believe, or sometime in summer, they released Matali. freaking Matali. I was hyped. It was awesome. It was awesome in peak. Matali. I was so hyped. I was so happy. Matali release. And it's one of the best songs. Still one of my best one of my best videos, one of my most liked videos on the channel. And I love it. I love it. It's peak. It's awesome. It's it's and it was easy. No, and we had no idea why they released the song, and it wasn't on the album. So what were they teasing? What were they teasing? And then we heard nothing from them for pretty much main of the year. That was probably the only song they released that year. I don't think they released any other songs. And released no songs that year. Yeah, sadly, they didn't release any songs that year. That was the only song they released that year, and we did go we did get a concert in the States that I did go to, the Baby Call concert. I did go to that concert. It was awesome. It was peak. I loved it. And one of my favorite concerts that I've ever been to. It was my favorite experience. I want to go again. I I I want to go to a Babymetal concert so badly. You have no idea how badly I want to go. But yeah. And then came and then 2024 passed came up and then we got Leave It All Behind. Leave it all behind. Leave it all behind. Leave it all behind. Produced by F Hero, Body Slam, and Baymetal. And it was peak and it was awesome. It was one of the best fucking collabs they ever done. This song blew King Slayer out of the water. It blew Papaya. It is well, maybe not Papaya, but Papaya was my favorite. But Leave It All Behind came close. Okay, it was peak. It was awesome. It was so good. I loved it. The choreo- the choreographs, the freaking transitions, the freaking music, the freaking sounds, the freaking instrumentals, the freaking drums, guitar, bass, riffs are awesome. Guitar, so guitar and bass riffs are awesome. Drums awesome. Freaking instrumentals peak. Everything about this song was awesome. I loved it. I had a blast reacting to that. It was one of my favorite songs. Loved it. One of my favorite songs. It was awesome. It was peak. It was I loved it. And I didn't think they could top it. There was no way they could top it. And then a couple months later, I feel like I forgot a song. I feel like I forgot a song. Oh, yeah, there is that one song that I forgot about that also came out at the same time of Metallica. Actually, it came out in November, but I don't really care for that song. It's called The End, and it had some rapper called Little Oos, and it did not sound good. It's actually my least favorite song for Babymetal. I did not like that song whatsoever. I thought it was not really that good. Did not like that song. Sorry. I didn't like that song. It did not sound good to me. Also, should probably mention that they also did like a that I'm not aware of. They did like a Babymetal song for a Lego show, which is pretty which I did hear, and I didn't even recognize that was Babymetal. I thought it was some Japanese band. I didn't know that it was actually Babymetal. That was kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So yeah. Anyway, and then The song that came next was My body is came out. It was awesome. It was easily one of the best collabs that's ever done with Virtual Cowboy. I loved it. It was awesome. One of my favorites. Could they ever top it? I think it was one uh not really, because as of now it's at 50 million views. Well, probably over 50 million views as of now. But it's one of the best songs. I love it. Actually, I think it's about to surpass Papa already did. But I love Vatatata. Awesome. And it is just a fun song. It is so fun. And I am smiling every minute of it. And then we pretty much got another song, I believe, was Tatsumiku TMG. It was Eternal Flames. I didn't even know this song came out. I didn't even after it when it first came out. After at the same time, Beckhoff came out. I didn't even know the song came out because there was no announcement about it. There was no announcement about it. So, mm, mm, mm. So yeah, I heard TMG and Beckhoff at the same time, and they were both awesome. Loved them. And then we pretty much just waited to the remainder of the year, and then I believe in January they announced they in 2025 they announced that they were doing a fourth album, and it was going to release in August. Well, it was originally supposed to release in July or June, but they delayed it due to tariffs. So yeah, and now we got the album, and I listened to the whole album, and I love it. We listened to all the songs that came. That's all the songs from Me to You, My Queen, Song 3, Cocoon, and Algorithm, White Flame, Sunset Kiss. Songs. But this is her, Matali, and what was the other song? Oh, look, one more. Kwai. This is all 10 songs, and I love them all. I did think they had only like two duds, that being Kauai and maybe Sunset, guess. But mostly just Kauai. I didn't like Kauai. It just didn't sound right. It sounded kind of off and didn't really sound right at times. But that was pretty much the only dud on that album. I don't think there was like any other dud. Pretty much enjoyed all the other songs on the album. I loved all the songs on the album. They were pretty good. My fame was peak. And then we got at least one more song after that, that being The End from Five Finger Death Punch, which featured Babymetal in it, and it was awesome. Loved it. Now, how did I get introduced? I don't know. The story of how I got introduced is probably unknown. And what do I think of Babymetal after all these years? After 15 years later, um, the first album, pretty peak, awesome. It was basically just a pilot album. Metal Resistance, the first introduction. The third album, No Galaxy, perfect album. Get a one, another perfect album. They just keep on. It's just like a roller coaster. It just goes up, up, and up. It just goes up. It doesn't stop. It never went down for me. It never went down. It just keeps on going up. So yeah, maybe like a drop when it goes up, or a roller coaster because it just went up. Or pretty much like a chart. No, I don't know, but because roller coasters do go down, so it just keep on going. It was just a ride around. It was pretty good. All the albums were peak. I loved them all, and yeah, I love them. I love them all. All the albums I love. Even though I do hate some songs, there are some songs I don't like from Babymetal, but most of them I love. I think there's like only a handful of songs that I don't like, but most of them I do really, really do enjoy. But the rest I do like. I like most of them. There's only like a handful of songs I don't like, but most of them I do enjoy. Babymetal will always be my favorite band. Love them. My favorite band. Got introduced to them back in 2011. Probably 2011. I think it was like during a cartoon. Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was probably during. What was that name of that cartoon? I know it was like a Lego cartoon. I think it was like Kitty something. Came right after the Lego movies when I was first introduced to them, or when I first reheard them after Doki Doki Morning. I think it was in 2014 is when that Lego cartoon came out. I don't remember. That's when I first heard that song in 2014. But besides that, I love this band. It's awesome. It's peak. Babymetal got me to some tough times, and when I was getting bullied in high school and middle school, when I get bullied, Babymetal was there for me. There for me when I was in hospital, when I was getting bullied, when I was in high school getting bullied. Pretty much, they got me through some tough times. They always kept me happy. They kept me going. They got me through pretty much. They got me pretty much through depression. I do love them. I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Baymetal. I love Baymetal. I. I. Yeah. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Baymetal. Baymetal always cheers up my day. I love Baymetal. They always make me happy. They're my favorite band. They mean a lot to me. And yeah, Baymetal, I'll always support them. Yeah. And what is the future in store? They haven't announced anything yet, so I'm guessing they'll probably announce something either by the end of this year or beginning of next year. I don't know. Saying that they're working on another album or just tease like something. That's what I'm expecting. I don't know. They might. Who knows? They might just drop a song in December around the holidays, or who knows? Maybe they'll drop a song in October or November or December, somewhere around these 3 months. Next 3 months, we'll probably get a song. I don't know. That seems to be the pattern. Either that or just wait until like January to release a song. Wait until the new year to release a new song. They probably do like collaboration or something. I don't know. They'll do something. They'll do something. I'm hoping Evanescence. Please. Please be Evanescence. Please. Please. Babymetal, if you're listening, get in contact with Amy Lee and do an Evanescence collab. Please. Please. Do an Evanescence, guys. You done Bring Me Horizon. Actually, you know what? Do a Bring Me Horizon, Evanescence, and Babymetal collab. Please, if you are listening, do Bring Me Horizon, Babymetal, and Evanescence. Do all three of those. Please do that. Please do it. That would be the best collaboration I've ever heard. That would be that would be one of the best collaborations I've heard. That would be something I would love. That'd be so cool. Evanescence, Babymetal, and Bring Me Horizon collaboration. Awesome. That'd be so awesome. Just hear all of them just talk together would be so awesome. Make it similar to like freaking Leave It All Behind and just have all three guys do collaboration. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. But with that said, this is the end of Retrospective, and bye. So, off. And remember, stay big, mental fans.